Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends and another in our series of I Built Them So You Don't Have To. Today I want to go through one of the new champions, Anax. He is, on paper, another interesting substitute for Dracomorph in the clan boss. However, he's very hard to tune for that Bad Eater comp. And thankfully, our good friend Deadwood Jedi has such a video. We're going to link that in the description down below. However, my goal with this video is to see what can he do elsewhere. Let's take him through the dungeons like we normally do, see if he can be of some use in any of the bosses, if he can add something to your team. He is a single target nuking champion, so we're going to have to use that to our advantage rather than to our detriment. And I'll show you how we're going to bring him into the arena as well, and we'll see what we can do. So without further ado, let's check out Anax. Here is our Anax. He is an epic attack-based Spirit Affinity champion of the Undead Hoard faction. He looks amazing, I'll tell you that much. He looks really cool, like an Undead Arab fighter. He's got the double scythe or scythe or whatever, sickle type. It's called something else. I don't remember what it is. But it looks really cool. He's got the double daggers in the front. Kind of stuff looks like his royal gear. I love the look of him, but looks are one thing, toolkit is another. Let's take a look at his stats. 14,205 HP, 1542 attack, 90 speed. Oh my god, that speed. Really? An epic champion? We're going back to those days? Give me 95 at least. Such a pain in the ass. 15, everything else is pretty standard. His passive, which is where there's a lot of fun, right? Places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns when their HP drops below 75%. So this is a big deal in Arena, for example, if you're getting nuked. Similar to what Seeker does for you, he's doing it for himself. And at 50%, he plays a 50% increased attack on this champion for 2 turns when their HP drops below 50%. And then on top of that, grants an extra turn when this champion's HP drops below 10%. There's a lot going on there, and something we're going to try to make use of this the best we can. It's on a 5-turn cooldown. His A3 attacks one enemy, has a 75 bookable to 100% chance of placing a weakened debuff for 2 turns. Heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted. And that's bookable to 100% and a 3-turn cooldown. His A3 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing a decreased accuracy and a 5% poison debuff for 3 turns, bookable to 100 and 3-turn cooldown. And finally, his A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 30% on each hit of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns, and that's bookable to a whopping 35%. I like how they put it at the very end. 5% at the very end. It's just filthy. Clarium, that's filthy. You're better than... Well, you're probably not better than this, what I have to say. But anyway, there's his toolkit. I'm going to show you how I built him out in a way that might be conducive to him doing some major damage or not. We're going to find out soon. So here's our Anax, and as you can see, I have him in a Swift Parry set along with a Cruel set. My thought is... let's see if we can get him to proc that ability, get that 10%, get that extra turn right away, which should cut. That's my hope, is that this cuts, and I want to see if we can use him in, I was going to put him in immunity gear, but then this has a better chance of survival and still hitting that 10% threshold. So our goal here is for that to proc against Hegemon, against nuking teams, anything that we can get. We can get a turn in edgewise. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we're going to try it. First, of course, we'll take him in through the dungeons as well. But his total stats here, he's got 32,695 HP, 4587 attack, 191 speed, 257 crit damage, and 236 accuracy. And his masteries, we were going to take him into the clan boss, and then after watching Deadwood's, he sets it pretty straight. So I'm just going to link to Deadwood's video. There's no reason for me to reinvent the wheel here. Check out Deadwood's video if you want to use him in the Unkillable Bad Eater. It does require some pretty intensive numbers, which may reduce your chance to 1 key. But for me, I burned so much silver, and all I saw was another 10 million silver burn just to put him through the clan boss. So just trust us. Go to Deadwood's site if you want to use him for that. Otherwise, let's see what he can do elsewhere. And with that, let's take him into the Ice Golem and see what kind of damage he can do. Okay, here we are in the Ice Golem, which is one of my favorite places to test damages. So we've got ourselves Venus to debuff, and we've got a couple regulars. Knight Errant I always bring in here because he's got the best damage on his A3 of any champion, and well, just about any champion anyway. I better not say any attack-based champion. But then we've also brought in Rotos, who've got all single target abilities, and we brought Septimus in because of his A1. Septimus' first time in here, so we thought we'd bring him in for the video. He's a newer champion of mine. I absolutely love him. He might be my favorite champion. Just he's fun. That whack-a-mole thing he does. But let's start it up. We'll see what kind of damages we can get out of this. Boom, down to 1. All right, as always, we're going to debuff. And then we'll use A1 here. 116. So Soul Feast A3. We'll go over here. Boom. 81. Not bad. Not bad. A3 here. 82. Very similar. Good, good. And then A3. 157. Well, he wins. But yeah, hey, I think he's holding his own there for as far as damage goes. That multiplier got to be pretty good. Hit 91 total. Probably a War Master proc there because he doesn't have Helm Smasher. All's fair, right? So 91, 374, 82, 116 on Septimus is A1, and Knight Errant at 124. So actually it was like 150. He overdid it, but pretty good damage actually. Keep in mind that also heals him, so if he was already poor health from his abilities, then that would just turn around and actually heal him some. So now let's do this again and check out A2s for damage. Again, Septimus doesn't have an A2, but we kind of know what his damage is, so he does have an A2, it's his enemy max HP, so it's going to kill people. Okay, we'll check out this A2. Also has that decreased accuracy, which is kind of neat. What was it, 35? About 70,000, I think it was. A2 over here. 106. So he is dropping off on that A2. Keep in mind that Rotos has much heavier, 74. So around the same as Knight Errant on the A2, which is good to see. We'll see what the numbers show here. 75, yeah, 59. Because he must have killed her, right? 121 again. Whatever. So yeah, he's dropping off a little bit, but it's just kind of in line for an epic. I think the damages there are pretty good. One last time, let's check the A1s. We already know his A1, but we'll do it again here. 84 that time. Remember, it's a 2-hit. 44, 48. So 87, 88,000. Remember, no Helm Smasher, so 54. So definitely strong numbers, I would say, in comparison. 59. Yeah, I mean, I think the numbers are there. He actually hit the most of any of the champions on his A1. Cruel gear, no savage gear. Of course, we have him in that swift parry gear, and just so we know what we're looking at as far as numbers, we're looking at a 5,000 attack Septimus at 300% crit damage. We're looking at a Knight Errant at 39 and 241. So I must have messed with the gear. He's usually over 4K, but still. That 83 of his is 70% extra damage, which is what makes it so big. And then our Rotos at 53 and 247. So, I think he's holding his own damage-wise pretty good. Remember, it is a single target, which is why we need to bring in that swift parry as some kind of mechanic to help him along. But let's do a run here, just for giggles. What we normally do. This is the team. We'll take Knight Errant out and we'll put in, instead of Venus, I'm actually going to run Lydia, who's hiding from me. We'll bring in Lydia just to help with those golems. And this is the team I would normally run with Ethos. So he's replacing Ethos on this list. But should still do some kind of good damage here. Like you can see automatically the difference is Ethos being an AoE, he would do enough damage that Septimus would actually be able to kill them all in one right after the other. But not actually that big of a deal because we come here on the defense down weaken. So he should be able to pop off a couple of hits. Ooh, just about round the house. Good hit, 110. So yeah, let's see what happens on the boss now. Good, no, what's gonna happen? God, those hits are big. They're big. So what's gonna happen is Septimus is gonna just absolutely crush him. There's the swift parry proc, and there's the extra turn. Actually made it pretty good. That was a pretty good example of what he does. 114, obviously it's Septimus doing all the work, but you know what, 627 for a single target champion, he was hitting really hard. I am actually surprised. I'm usually disappointed by single target nukers in dungeon runs because at the point you get to speed runs, but that was fun. Now, obviously Swift Parry made this happen. If it wasn't, he would have died. But even then, you can still revive him and he still gets to go and hit hard. So just keep that in mind. He does put a self attack buff on as well, which gives him a little bit of a bonus on there too. But it was pretty fun. And, you know, not my best time, but not my worst time either, for sure. Ooh, what was that? Was that flat stat? HP with crit rate. Only because I want to build out one of these sets. Okay, so there we go. Ice Golem Run, pretty decent times. I mean, arguably, I could bring him into the Fire Knight. Whatever, let's bring him into the Fire Knight. Okay, so in the Fire Knight, we're going to bring a team. Now, I would normally like running all Epic or Rare just for these videos so you can kind of get a better idea of what a non-legendary team can do. You know, for those of you who are free to play, don't have a whole lot. But the fact of the matter is I would just bring in Allure. She's going to do this similar or same thing as Lysandra. And this just makes it easier for me because my Allure currently isn't fully built out. I was testing her for a different scenario on behalf of someone who had asked me for some help. So I don't want to change her gear out because I'm not done testing there. So I apologize for that, but this is going to give you a decent idea anyway. Just know that you'd be using Lysandra to keep that turn meter down as opposed, or sorry, Allure as opposed to Lysandra. And obviously Lysandra is going to be better for the waves and the speed aura. So, you know, too bad. We're gonna get that added bonus. So the goal here is to get through these waves because he's a single target. And then the advantage here is that he's actually bringing a weaken in to help out the debuffs that our boy brings Stagnite. So the hope here, it's not going to be obviously as fast because it's not, you know, I'm using usually, you know, AoE targeters or someone like Septimus who's able to kind of kill multiple enemies at the same time, but hopefully we're able to get here because I did not bring a healer. Well, that's good. The liches usually can't kill because liches are just awful champions that should never be built, and no one can ever tell me differently. You can try, you can make it out and go, oh look, his turn meter, but he's still doing nothing else. Just get a Cold Heart. She's rare and she also does full turn meter on her A3. Anyway, I'm done. I promise. So got a poison down, also a decrease accuracy. If we don't get that, oh, there we go. It doesn't matter anyway. So good. We got the defense down. We got attack down in case he does get a turn, but it looks like he's not going to get that chance. Now, will we get that weaken? Will it even come into play? Oh, it got resisted. That's ironic, but nonetheless, I don't think it's a bad run. That decreased accuracy would actually come in very handy. I assume it can be resisted because if you're in a position where you don't have a Lysandra, something, you know, that decreased speed can be very troublesome. So I'm very curious, but there you go. 154, he did damage. He wasn't the main carry, but you can definitely slot him in if you need that damage dealer. And depending on the rotation, he just got unlucky and got resisted. That weaken's just going to help these other two pound out more damage. So yeah, also healing himself, so any damage he's taking is going to be able to heal. So at this point, I think it's time to take him into the arena and see if we can use him there. All right, see what we can do. We're gonna bring a double single target here. I just wanted to see what she looked like. It's the only reason really I wanted to take on this team. So, you know, the decreased accuracy, if we don't kill her, I mean, she's dead. But that's a good place to put that. We do not want her to go. And weak hit. Doesn't matter. She ain't going nowhere. It's fine. It's fine. Boom. All right. Ooh, HP burn. Oh, well, he didn't like that. Boom. So nice little counterattack there. That was from Retribution. And he did put that decreased defense or that increased defense on him. So he is actually helping himself survive there. And boom, down below 50%. So it's an HP threshold, forget, not a damage threshold. So it's not half of his health. It's when he hits 50% of his health. And that's exactly what procced there. And those are passive. The active effect of that extra turn is on the cooldown, but the other pieces of it are when he hits that threshold. So that's good to see. There, that's a reasonable example showing him his abilities. I don't know if we were ever really in danger. Maybe this. Oh, gosh, I'm fat. So they got a hegemon coming in. We're gonna put there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna see what happens. So proc that defense up and the attack up, even though he's got the attack down on him as well. Oh, they're all... Let's just try to kill. He's gonna reset turns. Yeah. I was really hoping that one of these guys would get some damage on this guy so they could... Given what we saw with his A1, I'm actually not too upset about that. Even without a debuff, he's still going to hit pretty nicely there. He landed the D. Things that you never think would happen. Oh. Hey, nailed it. And done. They hit. I mean, he hits hard. Still not good enough. Didn't quite do enough damage. This team will probably beat me. Because I'm not using my speed. Didn't quite get enough for that free turn. And he's on a 2-turn. There. Well, we did get it procced. So, unfortunately for him, he wasn't only 2-turn provoked, but also got frozen. Oh my god. Oh well. Like I said, I figured we were going to lose that one. Go first. Like I could I mean I have to take her and hopefully kill her. Yeah. Like part of me wanted to use the decrease accuracy on Molly so she couldn't taunt, but yeah, let's just try to win this. Already lost once to him. He must, you know, I don't want him to feel too good. Oh, there you go. We did go through some different scenarios. I think. Well, here's one we might get our ass handed to us. Let's go back to our. I'm trying for you guys. Because like my whole thought process here is is to put him in a position where his specific abilities are going to be able to help you win. I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but it isn't necessarily obvious. And like, perfect example here, he's got a 2-turn, so we should actually be able to take our boy out here with his A2, which is a 2-hit. Boom, boom, dead, perfect. I like his toolkit. I'm not usually a huge fan of non-AoE without extra stuff, but he has extra stuff. It's kind of niche for the arena. I don't think this is a guy that you're going to see in Platinum, nor is it someone that you're going to go, oh yeah, this is definitely who I'm bringing in here. But I think there's opportunities. I mean, he hits really hard on a single target. He has that decreased accuracy, which if used correctly can really help you. We saw that scenario where it actually prevented us from being debuffed in the turn order. So he does have some abilities there. He doesn't have any lockout abilities, which have been really nice for a single target. If they have lockout abilities like a block cooldowns or those sort of things, it's really nice. But overall, I think he's got a really good toolkit. So here's our regular team that I run in the Faction Wars 21. I usually run Faction Wars 20 just because it's a pain in the butt. I don't have a defense down weaken either or for this team, but guess what? We do now. And so what we're gonna do is I still like having Masteries because of his fear proc, and we still want Battle. So we're gonna have to choose one of these two. I really hate losing the AoE, but honestly, I think that's the way to go, because just in case, it's nice to have Gore Grab just in case. So let's bring this team in, see what it can do. This is my first time running it. I didn't pre-run this, so we're not doing it. We're kind of live figuring out what this team can do. I, of course, stole most of my my Masteries was actually in my Relentless, or in my Swift Parry gear. So I actually had to re-gear him too on this, so that was a bit of a pain in the butt. So far, no problems with this group here, which is nice. Boom. This is, of course, the Nightmare part. Good, we got the fears up before they go. No fear proc. No fear proc. Oh, we got one fear proc. I think we're 2 for 10 on the fear. Oh, 3 for 11 on the fear procs. Oh, there. Oh, we got the full gambit that time. Take that. I mean, he hits hard. It's always a good thing when you have a champion that hits hard. I mean, that's the great equalizer. That's what, even though Rhodos was nerfed from his previous glory, it's what makes him still very good, is at the end of the day, he hits hard. Give me more fear procs. We should be able to take her out, so that's good. Hey, come on, leave our poor Battle alone. The poisons will be really nice when it comes to the boss, and we'll see what that does. I think this is the boss that just one-shots everything, so he might not live very long here, but hopefully he gets brought back up. We'll see how this rolls here. We got a couple poisons. We got the lowered accuracy, which is just cleansed. And, oh, well, that's good. Didn't attack him first. Hopefully we get those heals up. Oh, went after him that time. Got the proc for the defense up and attack up. Guaranteed that saved his ass. He actually has yet to put anything up, but it doesn't matter. This is a pretty good run. Considering yeah, I mean, it's 3 seconds off, and keep in mind, I'm not using, I'm not on ultra, so, or on unlimited frame rate. So in all actuality, this was a faster run. So this was the fastest run, and we just got unlucky on the turn rotation with Anax not getting a weaken up and not getting the defense down up. So I mean, I would think that this could even be a better time. So yeah, definitely Despite the fact that we got rid of our AoE and our enemy max HP hitter in Husk, Anax absolutely does at least as good and probably better. So definitely a strong, I would say a strong build on Anax for the for Faction Wars. Final thoughts on Anax? Well, he looks cool. He looks amazing. I really like his toolkit. I think it's fun. I think it's very situational, however. Like I said, I'm going to pin top comment down below will be Deadwood Jedi's video on using him for the Bat Eater combo. If you want to try that out with Anax, please watch that video and send my regards to the Deadwood Jedi. But for arenas, or for arena and dungeons, I think he's usable. I don't think he's going to be your top choice because he's a single target. He doesn't have any specific additional function. However, I will say that his A2 is a sneaky good ability, situationally speaking, in dungeons, Doom Tower, and arena, because it's got that decreased accuracy. And anytime you have a decreased accuracy, you can mess with people. And I think it's an underutilized ability in Raid Shadow Legends amongst most of us, because we've been playing dungeons for so long, we're able to speedrun them. We don't need these sort of things. But the Doom Tower has changed that, and Arena has changed that. Arena has become way more competitive at all levels. More people trying to push into Platinum. I mean, Gold 4 is still Gold 4, but high-end Gold 4 can still be very aggressive. And if you're into 3v3, this is another guy you can suit in there. Keep in mind, he can't do it all himself. He's not like a Rotos. Maybe a single target, but he can still take out the enemy or handicap the enemy and really take it on his own, on his shoulder, so to speak. He can't do that, but he's going to be a definite strong assist there, situationally speaking. So I would say, yeah, give him a build. And also keep in mind, other non-unkillable versions, he's going to be very good, but you have to be careful. He's going to take extra turns. Extra turns means he's going to run through counterattack. It means he's going to run through shield. So you really have to be careful about when you're using him and how you're using him in there. For the most part, if you're using like a Valkyrie with him, it shouldn't be an issue, because it'll take so long before he actually loses damage because of her shield. But eventually it's going to happen. And once he starts taking that extra turn, because he's down to 10%, it can be very dangerous. The good news is he's not going to get there very easily, and he might, 10% is such a threshold when you don't have unkillable, but this might be really good because he's healing himself for 50% of the damage on a 3-turn cooldown. This might actually be enough to build him out without lifesteal, or without War Master. At least one or the other. I would put him in War Master, but maybe not with lifesteal. I would really be curious to see what he would do. So keep that in mind. I think clan boss scenarios look really good for this guy, just as long as you can work around how that extra turn is implemented. But that's what I have for him today. I don't think I would change his kit. He fills a need. He fills a service. Would I like for his decreased accuracy to be an AoE? Sure. But he's an epic champion. If he were a legendary, I'd be mad at this kit. I wouldn't think it's enough. But for an epic, I think it's pretty good. Maybe give him 5 extra speed, give him 2,000 extra HP, and I would say he's perfectly fine. So those are my thoughts on Anax. What do you think? Are you using him in the clan boss? Do you want to use him in the clan boss, or do you think he's actually going to be useful for you in any of the dungeons, or in the faction wars, which we were able to actually bring him in for this video as well? Any of those scenarios appeal to you? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, and most importantly, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate your support and watching these videos. I want you to be kind to one another, be safe, practice social distancing, and we'll see you in the next video.